Hello guys, welcome to my channel with Jar of Talents. So in the previous video we have solved a problem. Do you remember it? So in today's video we'll continue solving the same problem. We have completed the part 1 in the previous video. And this problem is of physics class 9 from the chapter motion. So this was the previous video. If you hadn't watched it, watch it right now. The link is in the description. So here comes the question. Let's read it once again. An object starting from rest travels 20 meters in first 2 seconds and 160 meters in next 4 seconds. What will be the velocity after 7 seconds from the start? So this was our question, right? Let's solve it now. So we have completed the first part of the question. So now let's move to the second part. Now checking the motion for next 4 seconds. Let's assume that acceleration in the second part would be a1 because we are not sure about the motion in the second part. So we are assuming it as a1. And in this second part also, let's write the values given to us. So given, what are the values given to us? So first thing that we would be writing is u. What is u? The initial velocity. Initial velocity would be 20 meter per second. Because we have found out that in the first part, the velocity is 20 meter per second. So we have been given in the question that it's continuing with the same velocity and it's moving forward. So the initial velocity would be 20 meter per second. And then the second thing that we would be writing is s, or the distance. So we have been directly given the distance, which is 160 meters. So we can directly write it 160 meters. Okay. Then we have one more thing that we have got in the question. That is the time, that is 4 seconds. So t is equal to 4 seconds. So again, our equations of motion come into the play. So what do you think here we can use in this part? Which equation can we use? We can use the equation S is equal to ut plus half at square. Okay, so now again it's simple, just substituting the values. So let's substitute the values now. S we have already know it's 160 meters, so let's write it as just 160. Okay, let's m. And then u, what is u that we have here? It's 20 meter per second. So 20 meter per second, I'm keeping it as bracket. And we have also have the time, which is 4 seconds. So 4 plus half. So what is a here? We have assumed it as a1. So let's write it as a1 over here. We are substituting it as a1 and time square. What is the time? 4 seconds. So 4 seconds square. So let's solve it now. 160 meters is equal to 40 into 20 into 40 is 80 plus of a1, 4 square would be 16. So then 2 1s are 2 8s are, we can cancel it. So it would be 160 meters is equal to 80 plus a1 into 8. We will take this 80 to this left hand side, then it would be 80, right? 80 meters is equal to 8a1. So if we get this 8 also to the left hand side, what would be remaining? We would get a1 as 10 meter per second square. So we have got the acceleration here. So let's add it into this part. A1 equal to 10 meter per second square. So if you observe both of them, there is one similarity between both of them. What is it? It is nothing but in both we got the acceleration as 10 meter per second square. So we know that the acceleration is constant in both the motion. So now we can calculate the velocity very easily. So u would be what? 0 initial velocity, and t would be 7 seconds. So we have to find the velocity after 7 seconds. So the object started from rest, so u would be 0. Okay. So and then acceleration in both of them we found it as 10 meters per second square. So again we are using the equations of motion. So we are having the equations of motion in so many parts of this question. So equations of motion should be easily accessible to whenever we want. We should be perfect with the equations of motion. So by looking at this, what do you think the equation of motion that we can use here? We can use the first equation of motion, which is v is equal to u plus at. So why are we using this equation? Because we should find the velocity. We have the u, we have a, we have t. So we have all the values. It would be very simple solving this. So we have chosen this equation. So the next part is just substituting the values. So let's substitute it right now. V is equal to u, that is 0 here. 0 plus what is a? It's 10 meter per second square. So 10, t is 7 seconds. So 7. Then v would be, what is 10 into 70? It's nothing but 70. As simple as it. So the final answer v would be 70. What are the units? Meter per second. So this should be our final answer. The velocity after 7 seconds from start would be 70 meter per second. So now let's have a quick summary of the entire problem and solution that we did. So the first step that we did is to visualize the question. The second step is to write the given values from the question given to us and recall the equations of motion, and then find the acceleration in the first part of the question. We found it as 10 meter per second square. And then we should find the velocity, which we got as 10 meter per second square. This is the first step of the first part. and then here we came to the second part of the question. And in second part also, first we have to find the acceleration, and we got it as 10 meter per second square. And then we should find the velocity after 7 seconds. So finally we got the answer as velocity is equal to 70 meter per second. So please do subscribe my channel and click the bell icon after subscribing to get all the latest details of my new video, and please share my video to everyone so that it would be helpful. Thanks for watching.